Thanks for having me. First and foremost, when Aaron asked me to do this, it was an easy yes because the coach's site has been huge in my development. Something I've used throughout my career, and I still peek at it. I will hit them up on anything I miss on this weekend. Such a good tool and for growth. I want to talk about simple things on the power play. First and foremost, the power play can be very complex and it can be a little bit scary. And sometimes people run from it. And I can say that confidently because at times throughout my career, I did that. PK guy in Tampa, I'm the head coach now. It's easy just to pass it off and go from there. So first and foremost, the power play in Detroit is run by Alex Tanguay and Jay Verity, and they did a really good job with it. We went from 26th in the league last year to 17th in the league this year, and with 3 weeks left in the season, and Alex Tanguay reminds me quite often, we were actually number 12 in the league, and I think that speaks volumes for the work they did. And a lot of things you're going to see here is from that. A couple other things I want to talk about with the power play is it can be a tool in your growth. It can be a tool in you climbing the ladder too. A couple great examples I have. One is Jeff Halperin. Jeff Halperin was an assistant coach to me in Tampa, ran those great power plays in which we won our Stanley Cups, got to Stanley Cup finals in. But he broke into the league as an assistant coach in Syracuse on Rob Zettler's staff, and he put it upon himself to be a special play, power play special teams guy. Because there isn't that type of guy in the NHL. If you can run a power play, it becomes valuable. He did it. He dug in. 2 years later, John Cooper hires him on staff. Another example I got in talk about growth within personal growth. Brett McLean is someone I had hired at Iowa. He was his first coaching job. He came off playing a long career in the NHL, ended up in the Swiss League, moved on to tell his wife they're gonna this beautiful home in Kelowna that they decided to live in the rest of their life. He was there for 1 week and told his wife he's going to move to Clive, Iowa. Not a very good conversation he had with the wife. But my point I have with Brett is when he came to me, he ran our forwards and he ran our penalty kill because that's what he did, and that's what he did in the league. He spent 1 year with me. I moved on to Tampa. Spent 1 more year on staff in Iowa, and then they wanted to extend him, which they should have. He's an excellent coach. And a little bit of leverage there. Basically, he told the general manager, Billy Guerin, you can extend me, but I'm only coming back if I can run the power play next year. Was he great at it? No, but it's because he needed it for his growth. And now he's the head coach in Iowa. Pretty exciting. I myself asked to be on the World Championship staff this past year, David Quinn, and he asked me to run the power play. And I was ecstatic to do it because I simply haven't done it as a head coach. I pass it off to the guys. And as a head coach, you're kind of just manning things. So it was great for me because I knew there'd be some great growth in it. Now, with that said, introducing the power play in a short term like that, I want it to be simple, very simple. We have 18-year-old players on our power play, 19-year-old players. We've got NHL veterans that are 35 years old. And when I had the approach there, a couple things, 3 things I want to talk about when I went into it is have an approach on the face-off, breakout execution, in-zone habits. Those 3 areas, and to be simple. And what I'm going to show you guys are the exact clips, the exact meeting I showed our guys to start our process at World Championships, the 5 days we had together in Munich before our exhibition game versus Germany. First and foremost, we talked about being face-off ready. Really simple. This is an example we have in Detroit being face-off ready. One is just be ready to jump on the lines and own those areas on potential face-offs we don't win. And you can see here we lose the face-off, but because we had the jump, we actually got to both areas, all the areas we talked about. We win it, we took a face-off loss, and we were set up. Simple concept, face-off ready, having good face-off jumps. Very similar situation here versus Boston. Boston wins it back again, but because we were ready on our toes, we actually get first touch on it. We use the yellow to get it up top, and we're set up again. Face-off ready on the face-off. Here's an example. Calgary actually snaps one straight back. We were face-off ready on our jumps, and then part of our scout either a wing below or a rim, knowing it, and our loose guy would be on top of it. You can see they literally had nowhere to go. We took another face-off loss, and we turned into setting up on our power play the importance of the face-off and how crucial it is. One other thing I tried to talk about a little bit there that we brought about midway through our season in Detroit. If you scout a center out here situation, we talk about our center just bowling. If you win, just dig into that center a little bit. In this situation, set play, we dig into that center. Larks actually knocks him down. We actually isolate their D here on a little 2-on-1. Ends up ringing one off the crossbar. And the other thing we want to do, and we talked about in Europe at World Championship, is having a plan of attack off a face-off. It's simple, but it gets you on your toes, and it gets the puck going towards the net. In this situation, we knew Ottawa was going to press up, and then we simply had a little bypass set play. We get the bypass the goal line. There's our quick little 2-on-1. We get a scoring chance immediately on our face-off. And then this is an example of having a set play, a goal line play right here. We snap it back. We go to the half wall right here. We get it to the goal line. It's a set play. It's predictable. We know where it's going. Our goal line guy is going to have two examples here. He goes between the legs, something the guys actually practice. We execute, ends up in the back of the net. Pretty simple. That's what we talked about on the face-off and what we brought into our tournament. Now, on our breakout execution, two non-negotiables we had. One, we're going to break out together no matter what we did. We predominantly did a two-man drop there. Do a single drop, a four-back. Just come together, hit the lines together, and make sure you finish your routes together. Those two things alone are non-negotiable, and we talk about all the time with our team in Detroit, the team we had in Tampa, and at World Championships. Again, these are the examples we showed in our meetings getting set for camp. Here's the two-man drop getting set up. First and foremost, thing we want to do in a drop is hunt this pick right here. And you'll see a couple examples of Scott Perinovic introduced us to him at the tournament, and he became unbelievable at it. But hunt that pick, and then what I talked about, hitting the line together. We came back, got speed, came back and had speed. All four guys hit the line together with pace, and then finished their routes. Now they finished their routes, non-negotiable, and then we have them dead to rights. And I'm going to talk about this little area here that we talked about at camp. We call this the entry, the power play entry. And once you get in this area, you turn your back, you have them dead to rights. You can finish your route here, or you have your kickback, or you can look to the middle of the ice. Really simple. Hit the line together, finish your routes. Good job of going down to the goal line here. Together, good execution, we're set up. Two-man drop again. You can see the drop. Here comes Mo hunting that pick. You can see our stretch guys gaining a little bit of speed. And again, we hit the lines together. All four guys together. Extremely simple idea. And now we get in this area right here, that box. We can go to the finish route. We end up getting the kickback, and we're attacking immediately from our entry. Really simple process. We call this a Boston in Detroit, but it's basically cutting our routes off. And we cut our routes off in World Championships. The guys had any short regroup. They had the ability to cut the routes out anytime they wanted. And here you can see they cut their routes a little bit, kind of being kind of a speed breakout. You can see kind of like the little double swing here with the stretch guy here. But it's the same concept. We hit the line together. We hit the line with speed, and we finished our routes. And then we have the options of the kickback, finish routes. This one goes below the goal line again, and we keep it on the yellow, and we're out. Pretty simple. And this is a great clip. Love this clip. Talked about maybe hitting middle ice in this. Here's Tampa doing the two-man drop, and it's against the box here. So they were unable to get the pick here. But again, they hit the line together, all four guys together. Then he gets in this box right here. You can see the finished routes taking place, and then try to hit middle ice if you can attack on the entry. Perry finds the right stick right here. Stammer bangs one home on the entry, and just look at the importance of the power play and the goal. We were down 2-0 in the series. We were down 2-1 in the third, on our way of going down 3-0. This turned the whole series around. We won 4 straight. We were on our way to the Stanley Cup Finals again over a simple entry on the power play. Now, in zone, same thing, very simple. We wanted to have a shooting mentality, and I give Jay Verdi credit to bringing this to us, to the Detroit Red Wing organization. Loose puck retrieval. Anytime that puck is loose, rebound, 50-50, we need that puck back. Bumper support. We need to get out of pressures. That bumper support come hunt. And this was a little more for world championships than we talk about in Detroit as much. Get the box moving. In Europe, you have the international hockey, a lot of those teams, a little bit extra ice. They're very tight with their penalty kills. They're tight with their boxes. They're tight with their triangles, their diamonds. We want to get that box moving low to high to be able to expose a little bit. Again, these are the exact clips we showed. This is us moving the box down to the goal line, back up top. Jay Verdi talks about getting those feet turned. Now you can see we've got the box from the hash marks down. We get it back up top. And then just being shot ready, literally both flanks are cocked, ready to go. Larks is here, ready for a shot tip. This is being shot ready. We get a really good look here, shot ready, and then on to our loose puck retrieval. This is an example of being shot ready. Good shot on the net right here. Now it turns into that loose puck retrieval. Watch our bumper come hunt for support here. He comes and hunts for support, literally just gives it back, but we've broken their pressure. We get to the goal line again. We get the box moving back again. Goal line, and we just missed with a really good look here, but getting the box moving. Shot ready again with some bumper support. There's the shot ready. Takes a shot on net. And now you can see a pressure. A lot of triggers on penalty kills or loose pucks, rebounds, anything in the yellow. But we come over, we hunt the bumper. There's the bumper support. Helps them get out of trouble. We come back through the bumper again here. We actually try to get some offense off it. And then we get that box moving again with a little bit of pace. And this is a really good example right here. I did a 1-1-3 presentation for the Edmonton Oilers coaching staff a couple years ago, and Brian Wiseman, I know he's going to be talking here, and asked for us to present the 1-1-3, which we've been doing to Tampa. And I said, no problem doing it. I just need something from your Edmonton power play besides the personnel you had. And he talked to me about the layers. And either your goal line, your bumper, everywhere you have, layers to your depth of your attack. And we talks about layers as we're talking about. These are layers. Layers, layers, layers. Tough to defend. And you're able to get cross seam here and you get a really good look on an open net right here. This is us getting the box moving. First of all, pace, getting the box moving. And we knew Buffalo had a passive diamond there. We moved it up. Now we've got the box moved up. We've stretched their box out, exactly what we want. They get back to their spots. We're going to the goal line here. And now we've condensed that box, hash marks down. We start moving it up, and literally that box is moved up. We've exposed them. We went to the goal line. We get a couple nice passes here, and we get this look right here for moving that box low to high. Simple concept, but this isn't by accident, something we work on. It's the goal we have going into any strategy. Some teams in the league that are dynamite, lights out, but a simple concept. Here is Edmonton getting the box moving. He simply brings it down the line, gets the forward here, top circle down, feet turned, and it just gives a little bit of space here and a good angle, and being shot ready ends up in the back of the net. Love this simple mentality, just being shot ready from the point, being shot ready here. He just gets one to the net, but when you're shot ready and it gets to the net, it becomes predictable. And when it becomes predictable, anyone can react. He knows it's going to the net. He knows it's going to the net. Riley knows it's going to the net. And then it just gets everyone downhill, and it's just a little tap in open net, but it's simple as can be. That's a shot from the middle of the ice, predictable downhill, and then an easy open netter. And I like this. This is the loose puck retrieval I talked about, and then attacking whenever you can off the loose puck retrieval. Again, shot ready, shot from the point, Now it turns into the loose puck right here, and this is that loose puck mentality. This ends up being an LA first touch, but they turn the LA first touch in. You can see the over pursuit there, and they immediately tack after winning the puck, ends up in the back of the net. Pretty simple stuff. Literally, the days we had going into the camp, those are the exact clips I introduced to our group with USA Hockey. How do we do in the tournament? You guys can see here, we end up finishing 5th of 16 teams, just under 30%. Of the 8 teams that made the knockout round, only the Czechia was above us. And of the teams that made the Final Four, obviously we finished number 1. And Alex Tanguay, who before mentioned runs our power play in Detroit, ran the power play for Canada. And he did get the gold medal. I nicely asked him if he would trade positions on the power play for the gold medal. He declined, but I do have some bragging rights that I did not like the late night FaceTime they sent me, the Canadian staff, with their gold medals. But down the road, I will have this, that we were ahead of them here. So now, how do we do? And I was actually very happy the way it played out. I'm going to take you right through our process chronologically, game to game. Nothing specific, but literally through the 10 games we played. And this was our very first exhibition game. And we talked about being face-off ready. Watch the guys be on their toes right here. Same concept introduced is being off that center's back. We'd be off the back here. And again, we take a face-off loss because we jumped. We got on top of the wing below the goal line, and we took a loss into the win, and we got set up from there. So guys were picking up those simple concepts immediately. Same game. This ends up being the cut route. And you talk about a coachable group right here. Not the cleanest routes right here, but you can see we get into this box right now. And a huge credit to Carter. I brought this up to him in the next pre-scout, why he's a great pro. He gets in this box. Now once you have in this box, just let it develop a little bit. Let the finish routes take place as you can see they're coming. The finish routes are coming, exactly what we talked about. But he throws it into the yellow, or in Europe, the advertising red, and it turns into a 50-50. Something we didn't need to do, and it ends up staying in the yellow, ends up turning into a couple 50-50 battles, and ends up going down the ice. To his credit, the very next game, game number 1, we play Finland in Finland. Almost identical situation. Connor comes here. He gets into that box, part of the pre-scout, showed him separately in the one-on-one video. It was part of our team meeting going in. Now he lets the finish route develop. He has some poise within the box, and he literally takes the same exact play, and we are set up with it. So good credit to him, and something we talked about throughout the camp on the entry power play box. This is us walking down. Same thing here, and this is on 5-on-5. Carter Mazer, he gets in this power play box again. Once you get him in that box, if you're moving, which we talk about, turn your back. We have the finish routes, or we had the kickback. He kicks it back. We get set up again. And then anytime being shot ready, anytime we got a one-timer for Cutter Goche inside the dots was a good play for us. Face-off ready again within the same game of game 1. We lose it again. It's sitting right off their center. But we take a face-off loss because we were face-off ready. We were set up and going. Get into game 2 versus Hungary. Getting the box moving. This was exactly within our pre-scout. We got the box moving. Tuck comes all the way down. We've got the penalty kill below the goal, below the tops of the circles. He brings it back up now. We get some pace. We eye up the power play. Now we get good ice for Tuck here. He rings one off the crossbar. Simple concept. Got the box moving low to high. Our top guy had some pace going east-west. And to Perinovich's credit, I had to get him going and getting his feet moving as the tournament went on. He improved in that area vastly. This is us again off the face-off win. This ended up being game 3. We only had the one crack on the power play. But again, pace off the line right here. And then we attack from the goal line. Ends up being back of the net. Game-winning goal. Got us a good win there early in their tournament versus Germany. Into game 4, example of us finishing our routes right here. Here we are, finishing the route. Perinic does a great job of hunting the pick. And then watch, we hit the line 4 together. And then you can see the finished routes taking place. We go to the goal line, we skate out of it, we're set up. Power play versus a diamond again, passive penalty kill. We wanted to get moving. We did a good job of walking the line right here. We've got both their forwards on the half of the ice. We get it back. Now we've isolated an odd number situation at the goal line right here. We don't execute, but you can see the 2-on-1 at the goal line. We just miss it. Again, with our breakout, the 2-man drop. Good poise by Perinovic. He ends up actually picking and hunting the pick on F2. Again, they hit the lines together. And then we have them dead to rights. So we end up using the middle of the ice now. We get our kick back, and we're set up. Go back to the goal line. We beat their pressure. We get to the middle of the ice again. Again, anytime we get that look from Cutter Gauthier, shooting area, we'll take it. Same game. Power play again. We dropped it. We hunt the pick. Now we had 2 righties, which ideally we'd left righty-lefty, hands face each other. They had the chance to interchange anytime they wanted. They did, but at the same time, we still want to hit that line together. And this was Cutter. He just got put on this power play. Here he is in this box. Just turn your back instead of putting it in the yellow, and sure enough, from that box, we turn the puck over, it turns into 50, and it's out. Learning process for him. Bumper support, good job right here. Same game, hunting it. You can see the pressure in the box. Little bumper support through, gets out of pressure. We got moving from lane here. We get to the goal line, and we get the isolated good ice 2-on-1 again. Game 6, you can see us continue to grow here. He cuts his route off, which is fine. Now, Gauthier gets in the same box right here, and he ends up getting middle ice because it's available. Rings one off the crossbar, which will be a theme for him. We come back up top again. Now he gets into good ice, ends up scoring 5-hole. Cut routes again. But we have to hit the lines together. And they do. There's our 4 guys hitting the line together with speed. We'll let the finished routes develop. And then Tuck actually finds the middle of the ice. And we get a really good look on an entry to Gauthier. And who's got it from right? What did he do? He hit the crossbar. So as good as he was, once he hits the bottom of the bar down, he's actually going to be a really good player when it's all said and done. Same game here, and again, you can see this is game 6. Our habits are growing, and this is a set play off the face-off. Now watch us get this box moving. We come down in that quiet area right there. We've got the box turned below the hash marks. We have some poise here. We get the box moving again. Good look again from Gauthier. Get the box moving again. We attack. We've pulled the box all the way down almost to the dots. We beat it through the middle of the ice. Just missed the net there. Get the box moving again through the bumper support. Really simple, basic habit. We get it back up top again. We move that line. Had to get Perinovic talking about this. Just get moving on that line. Now we come back to the quiet area right here. We get the penalty kill all the way down to the dots again. And then we get a really good look. There's those layers again through the bumper. We get a one-timer look right here through Cutter. Really good look. Now we get into game 7. We are undefeated. Sweden is undefeated. The winners move on. First place in the division. And we went 2 for 3 in the power play. And it was clicking. And this was the most aggressive penalty kill we had faced in the tournament. They had the top-down pressure going here. But you can see just getting some pace going. We break the pressure here. We get to middle ice, get moving. We've drawn both forwards off the half of the ice. It puts us in good ice, and you can just see the numbers developing here. There's our 3-on-1 at the net, potential 2-on-0. We come back out of it. We get moving again. And then we get the goal line play, which we just miss right here. And I really love this goal because it's such a simple concept. We get that good ice again. We get that seam. We get a shot. Now the loose puck retrieval starts, and we always attack out of it if we can. Here's a puck. This is going to be a first touch Sweden here. We get a bump there. It's in the yellow. We get it to the middle, and we just simple attack off it, and we score. Simple goal off a broken play, but something we stress throughout the entire tournament. And then we get the game winner. Again, we get the box moving. We've got the penalty kill below the hash marks. We break it. They've got their little scissor out of it. We move again, try to go to the goal line. Now we end up taking it behind the back. Scott Gordon on our staff there, something he stressed the entire tournament, give him a lot of credit. Used behind the net in these passive penalty kills. We go east-west. Now we start to move up top to get the box moving. We get our 2-on-1 at the net. Set play would actually work on this in post-practice. Ends up in the back of the net, end up being the game winner. This led us to our knockout rounds. We went 0 for 2 versus the Czech in the round of 8, but we were good, and we got momentum off it. And again, you can see the habits growing here. Box moving, back up top, get some pace to our box. We've got them eyed up. And again, we get Goche into good ice. We take this shot anytime. Box moving again from the goal line. There's the passive penalty kill. We have to get it moving. We can't be stagnant. We get the forwards eyed up again on one half of the ice. Now we get into good ice right here. And then we literally get this 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Vajmelka ends up reading it, makes a great save, but an east-west backdoor look. We take that anytime. And then it's not an awful thing, but you talk about how important the loose puck retrieval is, how important some habits are. We get in the semifinal game versus Germany, and we only had about 2 minutes and 10 seconds of power play, but some missed opportunities on it. First and foremost, we get a pretty good jump off a face-off loss here, but now it turns into a loose puck retrieval 50-50. We lose it. Ends up down the ice. We end up in a puck battle about 10 seconds later. We take a penalty. And then we get our chance late in the second, I believe, here. I think we're up 3-2. Loose puck retrieval again. Turns into a 50-50. Pretty good play by Mo here. Just kicking it around. It goes down the ice. And then we get one more crack right here. Late in the power play. There's our 50-50 again. It stays loose in a 50-50. Actually, we're surrounding the puck, and it ends up down the ice. Do we win with this opportunity? Maybe. Do we extend it 4-2? Instead, it's 3-2. They score with about 80 seconds left, 70-some seconds left, and beat us in overtime. So talk about how good our habits were throughout. Obviously, had some success, missed opportunity in a knockout game. Then we got to the bronze medal game. Again, our power play in a pretty good spot. There goes the east-west move. We got the box moving low to high. Move down the box again. Now we go goal line. We get a great look like that. And then a few seconds later, there we go. We're getting that box moving. We've got the penalty kill from the tops of the circles down. We get the box moving again. Now they're almost to the dots. Now you can see the space and time we have up top to basically do what we want. We're shot ready. Ends up in the back of the net. Some pretty good stuff. A couple drills. And we don't do a ton of power play. I don't think it has to be drastic. And this is really simple right here. And this is a drill we do all the time. Of every practice we had at World Championships, this is the only drill we did. And this was us early on. Basically, we're going to start with a power play face-off and just going through the routes. Usually we play live because this was early. We didn't have any resistance, but all they did was just practice their routes. End up winning the puck, same routes you guys saw. We set it up, and then we'd blow the whistle. On the whistle, we just throw the puck down. Ends up being a live breakout now. Again, working on the same type of habits. You can see the two-man drop. Mo's hunting that pick. They hit the line together. And then they get a clean breakout. They set up and they play it. Get 2-3 reps of this, both units back and forth. Then the one game we play pretty constantly here, we call it the 5-on-3 game. Can't see it here, but we draw a line in right here. We have 5 power play guys, basically our box and one. They'll play live right here versus 3 guys, and all these 3 guys are doing is applying pressure. So it's the same power play unit in a short area. So you have one group going long, one group going short. They play the 5-on-3. If it goes live into the other area, they play. They get another look here. Now it goes the other way, and then the other half of the ice. You can see the 5-on-3 versus the 3 killers. And it's a live game. You can keep score back and forth. Basic, simple. Don't be scared of the power play. Attack it. Anybody can be a good power play guy. It can open up doors for you. And it does not have to be complicated. You just saw exactly what we presented to our group at World Championships, what we are doing day in and day out in Detroit. Have a face-off approach, have some breakout execution, have in-zone habits, but make them simple. Do not overcomplicate something that is already very complicated. That's it. Thank you very much.